another Monday maths lesson. So as promised from Thursday's video, here are the answers to the questions that I've set you. Now I gave you all the answers this time. I've gone through and done it all myself as well. If you haven't yet watched Thursday's lesson from last week, I suggest going to watch that now because the information from that video will help you in today's video. So if you haven't yet watched it, go and watch Thursday's video and then join me back here in a second. But if you did do Thursday's video, you will be wanting the answers to the questions that I set you, and here they are. So if you answered questions B and C from Thursday's lesson, you would have already started doing this. But today we're going to start looking at fractions of quantities. So fractions of kilograms, grams, centimetres, metres, litres, money. That's what we're going to be looking at today. It's exactly the same process that we learned last week. So the question I want us to answer first is I want us to find out 2/3 of 12. But to represent this and to help you guys understand at home the whole process of why we did the divide by the bottom times by the top, is I'm going to represent 12 in the form of a circle. That whole circle is going to represent my whole number. So inside that circle, I am going to put a 12, okay? Because that whole circle represents 12. And I need to find 2/3 of 12. So how we do that is we divide by the bottom. So I divide my whole circle by the bottom number, so I'm dividing it by 3. So I'm going to divide my circle up into 3, and I'm just going to change my coloured pen so it helps you to see it. I'm going to divide it up into 3 equal parts. So I've divided it up into 3 equal parts. Now how much, if I'm splitting up my 12, how much is there now in each section? So I've divided 12 by 3. 12 divided by 3 is 4. Good. So now each section in my circle represents 4. Okay, so there's 4 in each section. And if we add up all these 4s, it turns back into 12, which is good because if we had a slice of pizza and we were putting all the pieces back together, we want it to make the whole amount. Then the whole amount is 12. Now I need to find what 2/3 of 12 is. So I need to find out what 2 of these added together equals. So I'm going to add together this one and I'm going to add together this one. Now I've got 4 in here and 4 in here. So 4 add 4 equals 8. Great, well done. Hopefully that helps you to understand better and to visually see exactly what we are doing when we are dividing by the bottom and timesing by the top. On the board is just one more thing that somebody wanted me to go through, which is absolutely fine. If you do have questions like that, that's perfectly okay, and I will definitely go through them. So we have got on the board fractions on a number line. So this looks really confusing, and it's something that you guys at home may not have come across before, but it's really simple and it's really easy when we just learn how to do it. So on the board, I've got a number line. Now the first step into figuring out what comes on each line is to count how many gaps there are. So we've got 1 gap, 2 gaps, 3 gaps, 4 gaps. So what do you think our denominator will be on each of these if there are 4 gaps? You're right, it will be 4 because we split it up. We've split our number line up into 4 equal parts. So I'm going to put little 4, little 4, little 4, and I'm going to draw the lines above. There we go. So what are we counting in if the denominator is 4? Good, we're counting up in quarters. So we've got, how many quarters have we jumped here? I'll do it underneath. So we've jumped 1/4. And now we've jumped another quarter. So it's now got 2/4. And we've got another quarter. So we've got 3/4. And then if we jumped on another one, we would have 4/4, but we know that 4/4 is the same as a whole. Hopefully that clears it up for you and you are able to go and answer those questions that you maybe got stuck on from the other lesson. So we're now going to look at fractions of quantities. So this is exactly the same process that we learned in the last video. This time we're just finding a fraction of different items as such, or different amounts. The first one I want us to find out is I want us to find out a quarter of 12 counters. Okay, I'll quickly write that on the board. Quarter of 12 counters. Now 12 counters is the whole amount. So 12 counters is our whole amount. So if I was to draw that circle again, and then I'm going to put 12 in the middle, because all of that circle put together, all the slices put together equals 12. Now what do we need to do to our 12 counters? What do we need to do? Good, we need to divide them by 4 because we are dividing by the bottom. So 12 divided by 4, I'm going to draw my quarters on. There we go. So 12, I've divided it by 4. How many counters are there in each section? 3, good, there are 3 counters in each section. It's only asking us to find out what 1/4 is. So in 1/4 of this whole circle, we've only got 3 counters. So what's our answer? Good, it is 3. Well done. Okay, so here is your next one. So we've got 2/6 of 24 counters. If you'd like to pause the video here to have a go doing it on your own, that's absolutely fine. Pause the video here. If you would like to do it with me, just keep watching. Okay, so I'm going to draw my circle again just to help me and to help you guys at home to visually see it. So I've got my circle and my whole circle is worth how much? Where's my whole number? Good, 24. So my whole circle is worth 24. Now I need to divide by the bottom, so 24 divided by the denominator, which is 6. So I need to split my circle up into 6 equal parts. Okay, so I've 24 divided by 6, 24 divided by 6 is 4. Good, so 4 needs to go in each section. So 24 divided by 6 is 4. Fantastic. Done that bit, give that a tick. Now we need to times it by the top. So how many pieces do we need to find and add together? Good, so we need to times 4 by 2. So we need 2 pieces of 6. So 2 pieces of these 6 pieces added together. So I'm going to do this one and this one. So 4 add 4 equals 8. Well done. Okay, here is the next question for you to answer. Just like the other one, if you want to answer it on your own, pause the video here and have a go at doing it. If you want to do it with me, carry on watching it and we'll do it together. Okay, so we're finding a quarter of 60 centimetres. 60 centimetres. Don't be put off by the centimetres, okay? Just imagine that they're not there until the end, but we need to add them back on for the answer. Okay, so 60 divided by 4. Ooh. What's 60 divided by 4? 60 divided by 4, so 60 divided by 4 is 15. Good, well done. Okay, then 15 times 1, because now we're going up here, timesing it by 1, we've already done that. Okay, 15 times 1, because we've divided by the bottom, now we're timesing by the top, is 15. And what do we need to add on the end? Good, Good, centimetres. Don't forget to put that on. There we go. Okay, well done if you got that right. I'm going to go through one more with you and then I'm going to give you some questions to answer on your own. Okay, here is your next one. So we've got an eighth of £16. An eighth of £16. So just like with the centimetres, please don't panic about the pound. If you want to cover it up and forget about it until the end, that's absolutely fine. Now, 16. So what do we do first when we're finding a fraction of an amount? What was the first rule? Good, we divide it by the denominator. So we divide it into 8 parts. So imagine if we had £16 in front of us and we were sharing it between 8 people. Okay. So 16 divided by 8 equals 2. Good. Now we need to do what? What do we need to do now? Good, we need to times it by the numerator. Fantastic. So 2 times 1 equals 2. Is 2 our answer? No, £2 is our answer. Don't forget those pounds. Okay, it's a big difference between £2 and 2p, isn't there? Hopefully you are finding this okay at home. Just remember to follow that rule. If you want to draw circles and divide it up and do a picture, that is absolutely fine. Or if you want to draw the money out and divide it up, that is perfectly okay. You do it to how you find easiest. Okay, so I've put the next question on the board that I would like you to answer on your own. It says to find an eighth of 40 grams. So just quickly, I want you to have a think about what an eighth looks like as a fraction. What does an eighth look like as a fraction? It looks like this. Okay, 1/8, an eighth. Okay, have a go at answering this question. Okay, let's go through this together. So we're finding an eighth of 40 grams. So what do I need to do to my whole number first? What do I need to do to that whole number? Good, I need to divide it by the bottom. So divide it by 8. So divide it into 8 equal parts. 40 divided by 8 is 5. So 40 divided by 8, so divided into 8 equal parts is 5. Well done. And then we need to times it by the top. So 5 times 1 equals 5. 5 what though? 5 what? Grams. Good. Fantastic. So just like the other lessons, I am going to insert a sheet for you to do here. Start at section A and then go on to B and then go on to C if you want to. They do get harder as they go along. Challenge yourselves at home. Try to do as many as you possibly can. And just like with every other maths lesson, I will give you the answers in Thursday's lesson. Thank you so much for watching, everybody, and I will see you tomorrow for spellings and phonics.